What is up, guys? Welcome back to another AB video, and today we're going to be breaking down the top 5 brawlers for Gem Grab, as well as all of the roles in Gem Grab, and we'll tell you the best brawlers for every mode, and then we'll tell you a few comps, and then we're going to give you some general tips. So basically, we're going to be telling you all about Gem Grab. This is the complete guide to Gem Grab to make you a pro at it. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it because I want to get through as much of this as possible in the shortest amount of time. Alright guys, so we're going to be running some footage back here, but I wanted to go really quick over the 5 best brawlers for Gem Grab and take it as a grain of salt because it was really quick, and I didn't think too hard on it, so take it with a grain of salt. But these are definitely some of the best brawlers in Gem Grab, and in no particular order. Let's start off with Pam. Well, on my list, okay, so I had Pam at first, but obviously, or not at first, at 5th, but I put Pam here because she's really a tanky brawler, and that's like, she's got a ton of control, she's a great mid, but we'll talk more about mids. And Pam overall just a great brawler, and she's got a lot of spread, she's got a lot of damage, just overall really strong right now, and if you have her pretty low, you should definitely consider pushing her in Gem Grab. And next up on our list, we've got Ems. Now, Ems has been strong for a very long time, guys, and the main point is because she's got a crazy amount of damage as well as control. And honestly, she's just such a good side brawler, and you can kill every single tank pretty much. So very solid in Gem Grab, and yeah, definitely if you play her with the right comp, she can definitely work and destroy the other team. And in 3rd place, guys, we've got Gene. Now, if you've watched my Gene guide, you know that he is a menace in Gem Grab, and the main reason for that is because of his super. And make sure to take a look at our Gene guide if you really want to know how to utilize that super. But for the main part, Gene is just so crazy because he's got that crazy super. He can completely change the game, and he's got that insane range that just can win his lane very well, and like, even aside from that, he can just help his teammates. So Gene, a very solid brawler for Gem Grab, and you should definitely push him. Next up, guys, we got the ultimate tank. We got Rosa, the botanist, and she's just amazing here because she's just so tanky, and she's so annoying on like pretty much every single Gem Grab map. If you're laning against a Rosa, like, you know what's coming. It's so annoying to laning against a Rosa, and she does so much damage. She's got that gadget that can connect everything. And overall, just really tanky and a great annoying brawler that if you face her, it's really annoying. And just play her if she's low. So yeah, that is Rosa in our next spot. And for the final one I want to talk about, you guys know it's coming. It's Sprout. Like, what am I supposed to say about Sprout? He's so broken. He's got that insane range. He does so much damage. He literally just wins any single lane that you play. So if you got Sprout, you don't even need to play him in Gem Grab. Like, you can play him anywhere else, you're going to have success, but Gem Grab, he's also going to have success, so that's why I put him on this list as well. So, guys, those are the top 5 brawlers, or maybe not the top 5, in no particular order, and now we're going to be heading into a few different roles. So, yeah, let's look at the 3 main roles for Gem Grab. Alright guys, so before we get into that though, I wanted to cover 2 small things, and the first is that you might not always have one brawler on each of these roles, mainly because maps are like, they're all very different, so you might want multiple of them, like multiple range brawlers, and you might not even want an aggro, but we'll get more into that in depth. And the second is that some brawlers have 2 roles, and such as Pam or Bo, both of them can play different roles, and once again, we'll get into that later, but I'll probably be listing the most common roles below. So as I'm getting this, I'll list the most common roles that the brawlers play. So if you disagree with this and you say, wait, that's not right, well, that's how it goes. I'm just going to be listing the most common ones. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's get right into the first role. So the very first role that I want to start off with is Gem Grab, or not Gem Grab, Mid. Okay, Mid. This is the role that I play pretty much the majority of all the matches I play in teams, and it is the mid laner who is focusing on getting all the gems. And for some reason, my teammates love putting me on this role, mainly because, well, it's maybe the most exciting one actually, because you have to be the guy who doesn't die, because if you die, all the gems, they're gone. So, and actually the reason that we do have a gem carry here is because it's better for one person to get all the gems. Some people might tell you otherwise, but have only one person to pick up the gems, because then you don't need to protect like your entire team. You don't need to worry about dying. Multiple people can die, and the gem carry can just stay alive. So that's why you're only gonna have one guy picking up the gems here. And as a gem carry, you are going to want to be playing extremely passive, guys, because as you can see in the gameplay, I just died and lost all gems. That is not what you guys want to do. Okay, so don't be doing that. You want to be staying alive, preferably alive the entire game, and not having a single death. So that's very important that you do that, and that makes the gem carrier probably the most important role, and the gem carrier has to be very, very reliable, and your teammates also be reliable to keep you alive. And also, one more thing to note is that because you're mid lane, you also want to be poking at other brawlers, because you can usually, well, we'll talk more about that, but usually mid lane does have a lot of range, and you can poke in different lanes. So make sure that you're helping them out, and yeah, don't take risks. So before we move on to the other roles though, I wanted to give a few recommendations for a gem carrier or a mid. And I've got a bunch here, but I'm going to be naming probably the main ones that I see the most of the time. And the first one we got is Pam, because like we've talked about a lot about Pam, so I'm just going to leave it at Pam. And then we got Jean, we got Poco, and then we got Penny. Those are the main ones that I see probably very, very often, but we do also have Jessie, we might have Piper, we might have Sandy. There's a bunch of them, but those are the main that come to mind when I think of gem carrier. So I'm not going to go in depth about every single brawler, just play those if you want a good gem carrier. And next up, guys, we have the support brawlers, and these are the brawlers that you would normally play on one of the lanes, and they'll usually go against the aggro, which we'll talk about that role after this, but they'll usually go against the aggro to just keep your gem carrier alive. That's what the support is really what you're trying to focus on. And I'm playing Rico here as in support, and I want to be keeping my gem carrier alive, because that is the main goal in gem grab. Just if your gem carrier is alive, everyone's gonna be happy, you're gonna get the win. So you're just gonna be not playing too aggressive, but you can play pretty aggressive just because you want to get the enemies back from you, but don't go crazy. So remember that you want to be a bit more passive, not as passive as a gem carrier. And if your carrier is about to lose lane, you definitely want to hop in, help him out, and make sure that he doesn't end up dying. Or if he does end up going down, then you want to make sure that you're there to either pick up the gems after him or secure the lane for him. And yeah, as a support, you can die too, like I said. Well, if you have the gems, obviously you don't want to die, but you can die if you don't have any gems, and it's not going to be that big of a concern because you are still going to have two teammates, but make sure that your gem carrier doesn't die. So that is the main thing that you want to be focusing on. And some common support brawlers I got is Spike, definitely one of the best support brawlers out there, Spike. And then we got Mr. P, and he's also very solid. Could have been top 5 in gem grab actually. And then finally we got Ems. All three of those brawlers are very, very solid, and you might even have Bo. He can also be mid, but I put him in support. Well, he could be either one actually. You can't really classify Bo, but we also got Bo, Rico, Sandy, Brock, and Crow. So those are the pretty solid support brawlers. You might not actually need a support because depends on the map, but usually I do like to have a Spike on my team because definitely boosts that control. So support, very, very good at control. And guys, last but certainly not least, we got the aggro role, and it's probably the most fun role because you don't need to worry about dying. You can just completely annoy everyone. It's the tanky brawler that's always in your face. You're always trying to get rid of that brawler, and he's just sitting there annoying you and killing everyone. So as an aggro, you're going to be wanting to dish out as much damage as possible. Just go in and destroy the other team while your support keeps your carrier alive and while your carrier picks up gems. So as you can see, even in this footage, I'm just running Jackie. Well, the footage, okay, never mind. But I will be running Jackie, and I'm going around just doing whatever I can to keep the enemy annoyed and killing them, making them have to respawn, and basically just spawn trapping them. That's what you're going to be wanting to do as an aggro. Get as many kills, and obviously as an aggro, you're not going to want to go all bull style and just charge at them. You're going to want to play you're going to want to play pretty passive, but like, don't play too passive, because that's what an aggro does. He doesn't play passive. So make sure that you're going to kill everyone. And even though you're applying pressure to the other team, remember that the other team might also have an aggro. So like, if they've got an aggro and they're all in your gem carrier's face, you might want to go back down and kill their aggro so that you can continue, so the gem carrier can continue picking up gems. That's really one thing that you gotta keep in mind, because I think a lot of us tend to forget that. And as for some good aggro brawlers, we also have Nita, we've got Tara, we've got Rosa, like I mentioned before, top 5. Then we got Jackie, also very solid. And we've got BB, very solid. All these are very, very good aggro, and they're the brawlers that I think of aggro when I think of them. So make sure that if you want an aggro, you're going to be picking at least one of them. And if I were to choose one, I would probably go with BB or Rosa, mainly because just my playstyle, I feel like I'm good at BB. So BB, very solid right now. And yeah, mainly just those are mainly the 3 roles, but I did want to go over just a couple basic gem grab tips that I think a lot of us tend to forget about. And there's quite a few of them, and like my randoms, I'm talking to you guys, randoms. So if you're watching this, don't be one of those randoms, and you definitely want to stay here for that part, mainly because like it's just good common knowledge to know. And yeah, there are a few stuff that might surprise you, so let's go over there. So guys, the first one I wanted to talk about is know when or know how to tie a match. And this happens mainly when it's a really, really close match and the other team gets countdown and you're stuck with like 8, you're stuck with 9, 7 gems. You need to know when to tie it, because if you tie it, the enemy countdown will actually stop, and then you don't need to go on and kill them because it'll be tied, the countdown will stop, and then you can contain mid and then go up and eventually win the game if you have good control. So the main thing that you need to know about this is that 1 gem spawns every 5 seconds. So essentially, if there's 10 seconds left and the enemy team has 8 gems, then you can probably tie it, but it's not exactly 5 seconds. So keep that in mind, and that's the first tip. Next up, guys, I just want to give a little friendly reminder that lanes are very, very important, and if you win your lane, you're going to have a huge advantage. So remember that, keep that in mind, and if you want to know more, check out my lanes video, which you'll probably find somewhere in my playlist, yeah, somewhere there. And next up after that, we got only pick up gems when you need to, and if possible, wait for your gem carrier, because let's be honest, half the time you don't even need to pick up a gem, you just want to, because like, I don't know, it's weird, but like, you don't always have to pick up a gem. So just know that, look for the right time when you want to pick up a gem, and you don't be too greedy as well, because if you're too greedy, then that's probably gonna end up backfiring and you're gonna die with all the gems. That's usually how it goes. Remember to play it passive and don't try to gem hog. Yeah, I'll say that. Let the gem carrier do the gem carrying. Unless guys, it is a emergency, then you are free to pick up all the gems you want. But remember, try not to die if you do that as well. And then last but not least, run if you have countdown. Like, what are you doing? If you have gems, don't just run into their base. It's so annoying when people do that, and I'm sure you have had someone on your team who has done that. So don't be that guy. If you got gems, fall back, please. Like, if you really want to win, just run, because don't try to ambush the enemy and distract them. Like, it's gonna backfire at least sometimes, and then that's just gonna cause you a loss. So run if you got the gems. And yeah, those are pretty much all of the tips that I got for you guys, but I do want to go over just a few comps. So we'll be back to talk about the comps. Alright guys, so I will have the comps on the screen here, but I'm just going to be reading them out pretty much just one by one. And the first comp I want to go over is Pam, Nita, and Spike. Now this comp, I will say, like all these comps, they aren't going to be the perfect comps, but these are just in general good gem grab comps. They're not going to be the best for every single map, so you are going to have decent success if you run one of these. So keep that in mind. You're not going to win like every match with these, because every map's got a different OP comp. So the first one I want to go with is Pam, Nita, Spike, and this comp it's just all the brawlers here are really solid. You've got a aggro, gem carrier, support, and obviously Spike really good for keeping back the enemies, and Pam's also got that decent HP. And then next we got Jean, Rosa, and Spike. Jean, Rosa, and Spike, and this one, very, very annoying comp. Like, it's just really annoying, and that's what makes it really good, and you could just keep enemies from healing back, and Rosa also providing that tanky edge. And then next up we got the Poco, Rosa, and Spike comp. Very, very good, because you got that insane healing, especially Poco and Rosa. They synergize extremely well because Poco does have that Decapo star power. And then up next we got the Tara, Penny, and Ems comp, and this comp it's a little different, but still same basics there. Tara does probably gonna have to carry because she does have that insane pull, and you can pretty much just change games with that super. So Tara gonna be really strong in that comp, and then you got Penny with the epic control, and then of course you got Ems for tank counter. And then last you got Jean, BB, and Sprout. This one is very, very meta specific and map specific, but honestly, you get Sprout, you're probably gonna win most of them. And that's the thing, like, if you got a Sprout, you can just mix and match. You're probably gonna end up winning with a Sprout, so play Sprout, you're gonna win. And yeah, those are pretty much all the comps. I will leave it up on the screen there. Hopefully you can take a screenshot. And yeah guys, hopefully this helped you, and I guess let's head right into the outro. So guys, before you go though, I do want to remind you that if you comment within the first hour of our next, I don't know how many more videos we'll do this for, but maybe next 2 videos or something, I forgot how many, but if you comment, you'll be entered in a giveaway for getting on my friend list, or I will just make you a graphic and you can use it as a profile picture. So it'll be one of those. I'll put it in the comment section down below to explain exactly how it goes, but I think you guys know it. And yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully this video helped you, and hopefully you can end up pushing a lot more, especially on this map. This map's epic. And yeah, for now that's all I have for you, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, stay ricey. We'll see you guys in the next video.